From poetry to playwriting, Jacksonville's 2018 Youth Poet Laureate takes her wordcraft to the stage, debuting her first theatrical work centered on themes of identity, Black womanhood, and Southern culture. Here to discuss Callas is poet and playwright Niveah Glover. Welcome back, Niveah.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here. We are also joined by Milan Falls, who plays June Ann Brown in the production of Callas. Good morning.
Good morning. Hi.
Hi. So tell us, Niveah, first of all, you've been on here talking about your work as a poet, but you're also a playwright. What does it mean to kind of make this debut, to have your play staged like this for the first time?
Wow, so exciting. I love being a poet. It is one of my passions. I love poetry, but playwriting is what I plan to do with for the rest of my life. And I think it's the beautiful thing where I can blend poetry and prose in a really cool way. And so I'm excited for people to get a chance to hear the poetry in the stage writing. I'm super excited.
Yeah. And so how did this come together? Tell us a little bit about sort of the plot of the play and then just kind of developing it.
For sure. Callas, it took me 3.5 years to write. I started writing it in high school. It was originally a 10-minute that was being submitted to the Princeton playwriting competition for juniors. And it started with 10 minutes, three sisters at a breakfast table, kind of talking about what was next before going to the viewing of their mother. And it kind of took a life of its own. People were reading the 10 minute and they were like, I want to know more about the middle sister. I want to know more about the younger sister. And then these three sisters, Margareta, June, and Sylvia, kind of just branched out. We added some other characters to be kind of perpendicular to them in their storyline to kind of enhance the world that we were building. And it went from being about what's next to being about the beginning of grief, the middle of grief, and how do we continue on after that.
And Milan, you played June Ann. Is that the middle sister?
She is.
Okay.
Yes.
And so tell us a little bit about her. What appealed to you about this character?
Yeah, well, June Ann, she's so complex. And I think that's what really attracted me to her because a lot of times we don't get to see the layers in characters, especially in theater. And so being able to not only bring to life, my real experiences, but find this middle ground between who Niveah created and myself, and being able to create something that is so new has been such an amazing experience. And June Ann, she is feisty. And she definitely plays her middle sister role. She has a little bit of her younger sister in her, and definitely takes on a lot of the older sister roles as well.
Yeah. And so have you developed a close relationship with the other sisters that you're playing with alongside in this
I
performance?
have.
Yeah.
I love them so much. I'm like, you guys are my Callia sisters, like inside and outside of this play. But yeah, like just growing a relationship with them has been so amazing, and just growing to see how our characters bond together, but even just as people, how we bond together. And that just makes the connection between all of us so beautiful on stage.
And so Callias is that you say that that's inspired by the calla lily, kind of the flower?
Yes, so there is an ongoing kind of debate during the show about what funeral flower they're going to choose to present at their mother's funeral. And they have a couple of options, but they keep coming back to whether they want to do Callia lilies or they want to do black roses. And black roses are the sign of death, grief, very like mournful, but Callia lilies are about rebirth. They're about brand new day. They're about the next step. And so the sisters are in that middle ground of whether they want to continue to kind of stay in what was, or, kind of branch off to what will be.
And so this play, we said is sort of about the experience of like a Southern family, women in the family. Did you find that there was like autobiographical material working its way into this? Do you have siblings?
I actually do not have siblings, but I have some really close, great best friends I basically grew up with, and they taught me what it's like to be a sister. A lot of it is autobiographical. Even though the show takes place in Brooklyn in the 1970s, their mother was a part of the second wave of the Great Migration. So they have a lot of Southern culture ingrained in them. A lot of the story features different aspects of my mother's life, of my grandmother's life, of my life. And so it is very much so an ode to all the women who raised me.
Yeah. And Milan, this show kicks off on Friday night, August 1st, but it runs kind of back-to-back shows through the weekend, including there's going to be a talk back on the Saturday matinee, and there's going to be an evening show that night. So how does that play out for the performers? Are you involved in that stuff as well?
Yeah. So, sorry. Can you?
Sure. No, I'm just wondering if
sorry.
like is part of the talk back or as part of the audience engagement, is that something that the performers are also going to be a part of, or is that just kind of Niveah doing her
Yeah,
thing?
actually, that is probably something we're gonna find out a little more closer to the day. But
Okay.
I'm sure if the audience does have any questions for us specifically, we're always gonna be there to answer those if
Yeah.
it's needed. But
And at this point of view, how can people attend? How can they get information or tickets?
Yes. So it'll be at Jacksonville Arts and Music School's Jams Black Box Theater. Tickets are live now. You can go to _official Callas play and go get your tickets from the link in our bio.
All right, we got to leave it there. Milan Falls, Niveah, thank you for being here.